So I learned that Citibank was a paper peddler. That's what they are. And the reason I'm giving you this story is because Mr. Jensen, David Jensen, he warned the world through my channel and others back in January this year. Monday, October 13th, 2025, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Well, today I'm going to tell you about a story I don't think I've told you before. And it was about 20 years ago. I forget the exact date and year for that matter, but I think it was around that time, 04, 05. But it was when I learned actually that the bullion banks were basically paper peddlers. I learned that they dealt in paper, not real gold or silver for that matter. And the reason I'm going to talk about that today is because we're seeing the mother of all squeezes. It looks like it's going to become on the LBMA market, London Bullion Market Association, which is basically a world market out of London. It's traded on the foreign exchange market. It's over the counter. It's very thinly regulated. And I also wanted to let you know before I proceed that I've just created a playlist on my YouTube channel. And yeah, brand new. It's entitled David Jensen on the LBMA. And there's 8 videos there. And if you want to find out more about the LBMA, David has done great research. He's been on quite a few times. I'm trying to get him on again because all the things he's predicted on this channel with me and probably with others as well is happening right now. So before I start though, I want to talk a little bit about gold and silver, the physical gold and silver, of course, not paper. And when I started this channel back in 2015, yeah, it's been one of the focuses of this channel, aside from free markets, small government, the Austrian School of Economics, contrary to the Keynesian philosophy, right? That's what I've been trying to tell the public about. Sound money as well. And from that, people started asking, where can I buy gold and silver? And I always told people, do your homework, look for the most reputable dealer. Yes, always do your homework, like I did just over 20 years ago. But I've also provided the viewers with a couple of affiliates, people that I trust. So here in the UK, it's Gold Investments, Oliver Temple and Simon Temple. I started dealing with their dad back in 2002, Mike Temple. He's retired now. They've been in business since 1981. So how long is that? 44 years. And in the US, I joined up with Miles Franklin and Andy Schechtman. And the reason I did that was because his father, David, watches the channel and he recommended Andy watch my videos. And then we started chatting, contacted each other. And so I've been affiliated with them for over 4 years. And for those of you who haven't really bought gold and silver, I don't think it's too late. Should we be taking profits? That's the other question you see a lot out there. Well, do I think about that? Not really. Not my physical gold and silver. Maybe the precious metals mining stocks one day, or if a company does really well compared to others, get rid of some of it and maybe buy a cheaper one or buy some physical gold and silver. But the question that I've always asked myself these last 20 years, when I get discouraged or when I have doubts about holding on to my gold and silver, there's a few questions I ask myself. Do you trust the banks? So, no, that ticks a box. Do you trust government? No, that's another box. Do you trust the central banks? No, that's another box. Do you think they're going to keep inflating the currency supply and the credit markets? Tick. So that's the way I look at it. Yes, we will probably see corrections along the way. We might even see a correction that will last several years, like 2011 to 2020, that, or even 2021. It lasted a long time. Do I think that's coming soon? I don't think so. I think right now what we're seeing is, and I don't like to say this time is different, but back in the 2000s, there wasn't any concern prior to the '08 crisis about the monetary system, about central banks. Now it's completely different. I mean, you just have to look at the debt all around the world. I think it's up to like 330 trillion world debt. The US government here, the public debt, is quickly approaching 38 trillion. We're at 37.6 trillion. In the UK, it's not any better. It's not any better even in China. It's not any better in France. It's not any better in Germany, which is a shame because they used to be quite prudent with their debt. But in the last few years, that's gone out the window. I guess the only country that doesn't have that big of a national debt, ironically, is Russia. I think they're like at, I can have a look here, Russia, 21.4% debt to GDP. I mean, that's really low. I still think that's bad, but compared to the US, where we are, I think right now at 124%, and that's the whole debt, is not just the debt held by the public. Debt held by the public is a bit lower. It's around 100%, but debt is debt. So, yeah, ask yourself those questions and then decide whether you want to get rid of your gold and silver. Of course, you might need it for an emergency. That's the way to look at it. And for those of you who have never bought gold and silver, I just want to quickly go through what I think is the best way for a beginner to start dipping his or her toe in the water, so to speak. So here in the UK, for silver, I think 1 ounce silver Britannias, that's the best really way to start. And I say start because you need to, start somewhere. And the reason why I like these is because it's a 1 troy ounce. Yeah, I know there's Charles there. Many people don't like him, like me. But silver is silver. You need to put that aside. The reason I like this in the UK as well is because it's a coin of the realm, which means it's capital gains tax free. So if you were to buy, let's say, 10,000 pounds worth of silver of these, and then next year they're worth 20,000, and if you wanted to take profit into a dying currency, I will add, you won't be liable to capital gains tax. Yes, there is VAT on silver. That's the other thing people always worry about. I don't worry about it. The first time I bought silver, I paid VAT. I didn't like it, but at the time, the price was less than £4 an ounce. Now it's approaching 40. So I wouldn't worry about the VAT. So that's what I would buy in the UK in terms of silver. In terms of gold, yeah, I would stick to sovereigns. There's a sovereign there. That's 0.2354 of a troy ounce, a sovereign. Yes, you can buy the 1 ounce gold Britannias, but they're a lot more expensive now. They're over £3,000. This is just over 700 right now, I think. And they have half sovereigns as well, and even quarter sovereigns, and they're coins of the realm as well. What about for my viewers in the US? What do I think is the best way to start? Well, for silver eagles, if you can get them, 1 ounce silver eagles. And in terms of gold, I mean the US mints really nice 1 troy ounce gold coins, or half an ounce gold coins, like this one here. That's half an ounce, so now it's just over £2,000. Of course, there will be a premium because dealers are gold, precious metals dealers are just like car dealers or any kind of other business. They need to make a living, so they buy it close to the spot price and they sell it to you at a premium because, yeah, they need to eat and feed their families like everyone else. In terms of a bigger coin for the US, you can, like I said, you can buy the 1 ounce gold coins as well. But another good coin to buy, or coins really, because there's different sizes and weights, is the pre-1933 coins. This is a $20 gold coin. It's just under an ounce of gold. I think it's 0.9675 or thereabouts. And this is a double eagle, a 1908 St. Gaudens double eagle. So that's how I would start. And with that, let's talk about the bullion banks now. And when I really learned, when it was confirmed to me what Bill Murphy and Chris Powell and others, but Bill Murphy and Chris Powell especially, from gata.org, GATA.org. I'm going to put a link to their website in the description. I've had Bill Murphy on before. It's the Gold Antitrust Action Committee. They're the ones who opened my eyes in the early 2000s when I started buying gold, and I could see that the markets looked suspect. Why? How did I see that? Well, because I watched the markets, financial markets, bond markets, every day. That was my job. I worked as a futures and options broker in the bond market, and when I bought gold in 2002, I started following gold, and I could see some patterns that didn't make sense. Things happening always at the same time. So the Gold Antitrust Action Committee was organized in the fall of 1998 to expose, oppose, and litigate against collusion to control the price and supply of gold and related financial instruments. The committee arose from essays by Bill Murphy, a financial commentator on the internet, and Chris Powell, a newspaper editor in Connecticut. So I won't go any further. You can read this yourself if you go into their website, but suffice it to say, they opened my eyes to this. And then a year or two later, my mother, she had some money that she wanted me to look after because my father had passed away, and my mom didn't know much about money, still doesn't, I would say. But we opened an account at Citibank, and I'm going to tell you the name of the bank, Citibank, in Switzerland. And I decided to buy gold, and I called the private banker, the lady, and I didn't know whether they could do it, and she said, "Oh yes, of course we can buy gold for you." So I called her later, like the next week, and I think she was surprised because I said I want to buy gold, and then she got a hold of her dealer. It was probably in London, because I could hear her talking in English to the guy, and I thought it was weird because the guy probably told her, the dealer, oh, they probably want to buy, right? And she said that, oh, you want to buy, as if it was a really silly thing, right? So I bought the gold thinking, yeah, we've got gold. That's good. And I think the price at the time was around $320, $25. It was very much near the lows. And then after about 6 or 9 months, the price was approaching 400. And I wanted to take delivery of the gold to keep it at my mom's place in Switzerland. I had read about GATA. I had read about how to own gold, you really need the physical. So I called the bank. I called the Citibank in Zurich, and the lady there said, well, I need to check. And then they came back to me and said, oh, we can't do that. And I said, why not? They were really not happy with that. And they actually arranged a meeting, Citibank private bank in London, for me to go there to talk to them. That's how worried I think they were. And the meeting was very interesting. I got in a meeting with these two guys, and they explained to me that I actually didn't buy gold. It was FX gold, whatever that was, right? And then I said, well, what if I had bought euros, FX, a foreign exchange transaction, and I had euros in my account? Wouldn't I be allowed to take the euros out? And they couldn't answer that question, right? And then I kept arguing with the guy and saying, this is gold. And then at one point he said, so why do you want the gold anyway? And I just said to him, well, because it's mine. Well, my mother's gold, of course. I had a power of attorney, but I said because it's my gold. But that didn't work out. And so I learned that Citibank was a paper peddler. That's what they are. And the reason I'm giving you this story is because Mr. Jensen, David Jensen, he warned the world through my channel and others back in January this year. And I'll put a link to this video up here. Yes, and I'll put a link to the new playlist that I created as well. And he said, London silver market verges on silver delivery default. And he was right. That's what we've got right now. That's why the spot price through the LBMA mechanism is so much higher than the futures. It's dragging the futures price higher because there is no silver in London to be delivered. They've been lying about what they really trade. Yes, there are people out there, and I'm not going to name them, but you probably know who I'm talking about, is someone that has artificial hair. He said a few years ago, oh, there's like a Niagara Falls of silver out there. There's so much silver. The silver squeeze will never happen, right? Well, all these people who try to discredit those of us who've been trying to warn about this fraudulent nature of the bullion banks and the way they trade through the LBMA, they've been totally discredited now with this massive squeeze in silver. And what's going to solve this squeeze in silver? Well, prices. Higher, much higher prices. I guess there will always be some people who will sell out. But I don't think it's at 50, let's see where we're now. I don't think it's at 51.20. where we're now. It's going to be a lot higher. And I think it's going to totally discredit the LBMA. And there's a saying about lies that usually they come out. And I've looked it up here. One saying is, truth is the daughter of time. And it says, it suggests that secrets and lies will be exposed over time. So I think that's what we're seeing now. And the reason why this lie and this truth have been covered up is because gold and silver are at the heart of controlling or keeping this fiat currency Ponzi scheme alive. And the way they've done it is through the LBMA and the COMEX as well, because the bullion banks that trade on the LBMA, they trade on the COMEX. They do the EFP mechanism as well, which I've spoken about with Eric Young or King Kong. So it's all intertwined. And so I don't think COMEX is any better. So to sum up, what the LBMA and the COMEX are, and I made a video about this, they're just glorified bucket shops. And what are bucket shops? Well, they used to be places where you could bet on the price of stocks in the US. You actually didn't buy the stock, you bet on the price. And Jesse Livermore started his career in the bucket shops because he didn't have a big enough stake to open an account with a bona fide broker. So yeah, that's how precarious things are for a monetary system. And I think, as the saying goes, truth is the daughter of time. I think we are at a time where the truth will out. And the LBMA is at the heart of it. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my story. What happened afterwards with Citibank? Well, I closed the position, took some of the money out in cash, actually. At the time, you could still do that quite a bit. And I bought some, I went to Credit Suisse in Zurich and bought some coins and bars for my mother and took it home for her. So that's what I did. I guess I learned that you couldn't really trust these bullion banks. And I've been telling friends for years because some of my friends have dealt with these people, and I told them, if you think you have gold with them, think again. And thankfully they have heeded my warning and they started buying the real thing. So with that, I'd like to wish you all a very good day. Take care. Bye.